Let's talk about some habits I stopped doing and you should probably stop to live a more fulfilled life. The first one might shock you guys, but I stopped binge eating. I know, Emeka, the fitness guy, the bodybuilder, used to binge eat, and I used to. When I was in university, in my mind, I was bulking, so I would have 2 large pizzas, ice cream, cookies, because it's calories, right? And in my mind, I think my obsession with fitness and dieting is more or less a subconscious adaptation to enable me stay away from sugar, because more or less, if I'm not dieting now, I would eat pancakes all the time. I just love it. I love sugar, but binge eating is literally bad, and it's bad for various reasons. The first one, it really messes up your blood sugar and makes you more prone to diabetes and cancer. Secondly, when you binge eat, you become very sluggish, and in turn, your work will suffer. I promise you, your brain functions better when it has adequate food, not too much food. If you eat chicken and rice versus 2 large pizzas, the energy going to your brain is completely different, and when you eat way too much food, you become more physically tired. And obviously, the last reason not to binge eat is you end up looking like a slob. And no one wants to look like a slob, because when you look like a slob, number one, no one's gonna respect you. We do not respect people that don't look like they take care of their body, except the billionaire or millionaire. Let's be honest. You get respect from someone straight away if you're in good physical shape. And binge eating will literally stop you from getting that desired body. The second habit I stopped doing is complaining without looking for a solution. It's kind of pointless. In fact, it is pointless. While venting might give you some temporary relief, it really doesn't stop or solve the problem at hand. When people are not happy about a situation, they tend to vent first, sulk, and then take action. They process that information first via their emotions before then thinking logically. That's the wrong way to approach life. I want you guys watching this video to understand that you should always think rationally first. When faced with a problem, analyze it, think about a solution, and then once you overcome that, you can then decide to vent or sulk. I promise you, if you approach life this way, it will become a lot better. Let me tell you why. The first reason, and the main reason, is you become a problem solver. People that solve problems are respected in society and are valued by everyone. In the workplace, if you're a problem solver, you become a very valued member in that team, and almost people will depend on you, which is good for you because then your performance, all things being equal, will go up and you can get a better salary. In relationships, I promise you, if you're a guy watching this video, no girl wants to be solving your problems. Your girlfriend wants you to be the problem solver. If you have an issue, solve the problem first and then tell her, oh, this is what happened. And trust me, she'll love that more than you whine like a baby saying, I don't know what to do. It's really not attractive. Solve the problem, and then if you want, vent. The next thing you should stop doing is negative self-talk. The same people that tend to sulk and vent when faced with a situation are also the same people that engage in a lot of self-bashing, to be honest. We are our own worst critiques, which is a good thing, but when that comes with no improvement, or you're not trying to move past that situation and you're just bashing yourself, it really doesn't help you or anyone. There's a saying, action leads to accomplishments, which then leads to competence, which then leads to confidence. Your negative self-talk, more times than not, is due to a lack of confidence. Now you have to decide, along that whole chain, what do I need to improve? Is it the action? Is it the accomplishments? Or is it my competence? It's one of those 3 things. If you're engaging in negative self-talk, it could be that you're not taking any action. Also, it could be that you're taking action, but the results are not going your way, so that confidence is not being built. Confidence is built from winning. Again, confidence is built from winning. Without winning, even if you have confidence, it's more or less arrogance because it's backed and based on nothing. I want you guys watching this to recognize where along that chain you're lacking and find a way to improve it, which I'll touch on at the end of the video. If you're enjoying the video so far and if you like what I've said, please drop a like and leave a comment. It goes a long way. Something else that's quite related to negative self-talk is taking everything personal. This is going to trigger a lot of people. For example, a coworker gives you a critique that's from a different country or age or gender, and instead of you taking on that feedback and trying to improve, you more or less attribute the feedback to your skin color or your gender. The person's only saying this to me because I'm this skin color, because I'm black, because I'm white. A lot of times, and I mean 99% of the time, people are only interested in your work. They're not saying this to you because of your specific characteristics. And for what I've seen, most of the time, this is the case with race and also the case with people that grew up in a multicultural society. And I think I know why I don't have this mindset. Let me explain. If you grew up in a country where everyone looked like you, if you got feedback, you couldn't say it's because of the way I look. You couldn't say that. That's not a valid reason. So from a young age, all feedback I got, I didn't attribute that to my race or to my ethnicity. It was like, oh, I got feedback, time to improve. But if you grew up in a multicultural society, from a young age, which we allow in society, someone might say something to you and you might say, oh, because I look this way, saying that to me. There needs to be a shift in your mindset because eventually you're going to make a big mistake and miss a big opportunity. Now, I've rambled on some bad habits, but how to actually change them? How can you fix this? Let's talk about it. To reach a new goal, you must change something about yourself. It could be the way you act, feel, or think. Some bad habits tend to be unconscious. It could be you biting your nails. It could even be binge eating because sometimes you don't realize you're binging. You feel like you're a demon possessed and you can't stop eating. Dr. Joe Dispenza actually explained this very well. There are 2 times when your subconscious is open to change. When you wake up in the morning and also when you're going to bed. And what it says that you should do is in the morning or before bed, identify that bad habit. Write it down. It could be in Notion, it could be in Word, it could be in a piece of paper. Just write it down. Visualize it. It could be, I don't want to binge today, or I don't want to smoke. Also, under that bad habit, make a list of the emotions you feel when the habit happens, and also the emotions you feel leading up to that bad habit. For example, if it's binge eating, it could be after a tired day at work and you feel tired, you feel anxious, or you know every single time you felt that way, you're about to binge. Now that those 2 emotions are on paper, make sure to check yourself. Like I said before, if you know you always binge at night when you're feeling hungry or when you're feeling tired, when work is not going well, check yourself. Try and move away from that emotional state. It could be when you start to feel anxious or depressed, call someone you love, call someone you want to talk to. That way you avoid that habit. And by drilling this into your mind every single day, the subconscious becomes more conscious. Now that you know when you experience that emotion, you're about to perform this bad act, you try and do stuff that's within your day that's perfectly normal to avoid that situation. And the truth is, not all devils can be tamed. We can only find ways sometimes to live with what we have. Something else you have to do is make the environment fit your goals. I'm talking about if you binge eat a lot, like I used to do, keep no snacks in your house. Why is it there? If your mind, you're gonna say, I'm gonna have just 1 rice cake or 1 bowl of cereal, I couldn't do it. I would have the whole freaking box because I'm a pig. So make the environment fit your goal. If it's your girlfriend, if it's your mom, your dad that's making you perform that bad habit, depends on how bad it is, but you might have to leave that situation. And that's how it has to work. And the last thing I'll touch on is what should you do if you tell yourself, I don't want to binge today, and you actually end up binging? What should you do? Think about it. And what most people do will be try and go grocery shopping and buy healthy food options. That's the most logical thing to do, but from Dr. Huberman's podcast, he actually made a very interesting suggestion. He more or less said, when you perform a bad habit like binging, instead of going grocery shopping, go do a different task that's quite positive. It could be when you binge, you go clean the freaking flat. Or when you binge, you go read the Bible, for example. And what it's actually doing is attaching a bad action to a positive action. And by doing this, you actually end up breaking the loop. You actually end up trying to perform just the positive action over a period of time. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Hope you found that useful. Like the video and I'll see you in the next one.